exercising our bodies. We did the walk around the facility, which was a lot of fun. This time, though, we're going to talk about something a little different. Today, we're going to talk about exercising the brain. Everybody here knows that if you exercise your body, of course, you know, your body remains healthy, your muscles get stronger, all these positive effects occur, right? Well, exactly. Well, what we sometimes forget is that the same thing is also true for the human brain. And today, I'm going to share with you some information about some very simple things we all can do on a daily basis that will help maintain our mental strength, our mental acuity, help with memory, all kinds of things. Some of them may apply to you, some of them may not, but just, if you will, please share some stories if you have some, and we'll talk through some of these different things that we can all use to improve our lives and our mental health. The takeaway is, if you don't use it, you'll lose it. If we don't use our brains on a daily basis, then we'll begin to lose some of that ability to concentrate. Our memory will start to go. Yeah. So this whole class is going to be about the different things we can do, simple things that will help us stay mentally strong. It's play, play, play. That's number one on your sheet, and I'm going to talk briefly about that. That means engage your brain with activities every day, fun games and challenges. Yeah. Tease your brain. So if you like doing puzzles, do a puzzle. If you enjoy, maybe if you still do crosswords, do a crossword or a number game if you have a number game. I know the community has things like that available, and that's great, but try to get a group together, and maybe together you can all do a puzzle or something like that. It's much better that way because your brain you'll get the social interaction from other people, and you have to concentrate as you do this task. So it's really important that we have ways of teasing and challenging our brain. And playing games is a great thing on the list is mix it up. All right, so what does that mean? Well, very often, you know, we get used to doing one activity or task. We do the same game every time we play cards, or we have a certain puzzle we've been working on forever, or we only do crosswords, we don't like number games, or it could be something like that. We have to mix it up. You have to find an activity that's different from what you did before, okay? And it doesn't just pertain to games. We also have to look for other routines in our life and find ways of breaking those. I'm right-handed, I do everything right-handed. I've tried, when I was learning about this class and learning about this material, I tried brushing my teeth with my left hand, and I ended up with toothpaste all over my cheeks.
You didn't comb your hair, did you?
No, I didn't. But for more obvious reasons. Try to mix those things up too. And when you do it, force yourself to be on high alert. Pay attention to everything. See what people are doing. If you go buy some flowers, stop and smell the flowers. Little things like that can make a difference because we're concentrating in our environment. And like I said, the whole goal is to keep your brain engaged. A couple things. You know, it's interesting how little things around us, if you just pay a little bit more attention, you'll notice something and you'll think, wow, you know, I can concentrate on this thing and I can gain more information and use my brain. It's like smelling the flowers, or I found just even smelling an orange. Even smelling an orange. Pass it around. Well, an orange apple, or perhaps something like this. For you. Pass it around and you get to keep them. I mean, if you just stop and listen right now in the community, I can hear the sound of a television even right now. Which, that's okay, because, you know, watching TV can be informational. You get to watch the news or your favorite show, and that's great. But sometimes it's okay, it's also okay to just have quiet time. It's okay to be in your room with the television off and close your eyes and imagine things, or think about things. Exactly, you can, because when you use your imagination, you're actually incorporating all your senses. There's a couple of things that I want to tell you about that pertain to this. Too much mental stimulation, too many things going on at once, produces in our brain a chemical called cortisol. Cortisol is the same chemical that's produced when we have a negative emotion about something, when we're sad about something, when we feel lost. It's actually the same chemical. And it produces a very negative effect on our brain tissue. Cortisol actually slows the regeneration and growth of brain tissue. So the more negative emotions we experience, it can affect our brain health. And also, the more stimulation, constant stimulation that's around us, television, radio, and people, and noise, that also produces the same effect. So if you can find a quiet place to just sit and concentrate, it can have really, really great benefits for your mental health. One of the important ones is no TV at bedtime. I know a lot of folks fall asleep with the TV on. Some people do. Well, what happens is you don't ever fully get into deep, deep sleep that way because the noise in the background continues to stimulate you. Even though you're asleep, your brain is still trying to gather information because you hear things, right? You hear the television. So try it. I'm not saying do it every day, but on some days, turn the TV off at bedtime if you're a person that normally leaves it on. Because it might really affect the quality of the sleep you get, and it could help your brain health. Number 7 is about reading. Now, obviously, as we grow older, sometimes our sight declines a little bit and reading becomes difficult. Now, if reading is still an option for you, or if you have even magazines and things with pictures like this handout, reading can be really beneficial for brain health. Here's why. When you read, you have to imagine things. It goes back to what we talked about earlier with concentration. When we're reading, we're imagining and picturing the things that were on our page. Yeah, it's exactly, and it's very, very stimulating. So here's a couple interesting statistics that I wanted to share with you. There are statistics that show that people who read into their senior years are 50% less likely to develop Alzheimer's. Additionally, if you watch less than 7 hours of TV per day, less than 7 hours per day, you're also 30 to 50% less likely. So share a cookie with somebody, share a smile. Stop during your day and say hello to somebody, talk to them. If you enjoy puzzles and games, do it with other people. But socialize, and obviously we're blessed to have everybody here. We can all enjoy each other's company. So do so, take advantage of the opportunity. If you're new here, try to meet somebody else who's been here for longer. Or if you've been here for a while and there's somebody who's new, stop and say hello to them and talk to them, get to know them. Because that interaction, besides just being good for the soul and good for our heart, also is good for the brain. Are there any questions about the things we've talked about today? I'm going to return your flowers to you. There you are. Oh, they're for you, absolutely.
Did you win those?
Yeah, they're for her.
Awesome.
So, does anybody have any questions about what we've talked about? Okay. Well, we have one other thing today that we want to share with you. So, I'm going to pass a raffle ticket around. Justin and I brought a couple puzzles today to give to everybody. Did you get one? Puzzles, and if you need help reading your ticket, just let us know. Why don't you share the puzzles with us? What do we have?
Well, we hope y'all are good puzzle completers because these are a little tricky. We're going to challenge y'all on this. First one's a 1,000-piece picture of Victoria Creek by Dennis Lewin. So there's a nice landscape for you.
Okay.
The second one is another 1,000-piece.
1,000 pieces.
Countryside morning run with a couple deer running out in the road.
Okay. Very good. Okay, well, I have 2 numbers here. And if you look on your ticket, and again, if you need help, let me know. But there's there's the last 3 numbers. I'm going to read the last 3 numbers for you. Winner number 1 is number 461. Who's that? All right. Which one would you like? Which one would you like? Okay. And number 2 is number 465. All right. There it is.
All right. Now there's a race.
Now there's a race going.
So Gary, you got to make sure you beat Barbie.
Okay, so one last thing before we leave. So you guys have gotten to know us pretty well. We're Arbor Home Care. Everybody here is in great health. I can see that just from talking to all of you. But if you know somebody who maybe needs a little bit more help, then you just let them know about us because we'd be more than happy to help out in any way. It's been a real pleasure. Thank you so much.
Great job.